right, so today we're going to be performing unit conversions using proportions. All right, so we also have our 6th grade reference materials page that we're going to be using. We're going to put a copy of this in our unit conversion folder as well. Okay, so now the first problem that we're going to begin looking at is 96 yards, and we're converting those into feet. Okay, so we're converting 96 yards into feet. If I go and use the reference materials page, the equation that relates yards and feet, 1 yard equals 3 feet. But I need to write this as a rate. So whenever I write a rate, that means my denominator is going to be 1. So that means 3 feet is going to be my numerator. 1 yard is going to be my denominator. So I'm going to have 3 feet and 1 yard. This is my rate because my denominator is 1. Okay, so anytime you have to write your rate using the reference materials page or the equation, your denominator should be 1. Now we're going to write a proportion. So that means we have to write 96 yards here and find the relationship. Of course, here, if we multiply 1 times 96, we'll get 96. So that relationship here is times 96. And then whatever we do to the denominator's relationship, we use it in the numerator's relationship. And of course, if we multiply 3 times 96, that's going to give us the
228.
228, thank you, feet. So that means in 96 feet, there are in 96 yards, there are 228 feet, okay?
I meant 288.
288, I'm sorry, okay. All right. So now, if we look at another problem, will we have 48 inches? And we need to convert those inches to feet. All right. Using the reference materials page, I know that 12 inches equals 1 foot. So I need to write this as a rate. So that means my 12 inches will be my numerator and my denominator will be the 1 foot. All right. So now we're going to write the proportion. Inches will go with inches, and feet will go with feet. And of course, we're changing 48 inches. All right. So now we have to find the relationship between the numerators. If we multiply 12 times 4, that will give us 48. So we use the same relationship with our denominators. Okay, so that means here we multiply times 4, and that means for 48 inches, that is equivalent to 4 feet. 4 feet. And I should have wrote 288 here, so let's write 288. All right. Let's look at the following problem. All right. So now, I'm going to go to the following. 96 feet equals blank yards. 96 feet equals blank yards. Okay? So now we have to determine the relationship between feet and yards if we look at our customary length. 1 yard equals 3 feet. So we can write this equation as a rate. So that means our feet, since they're 3, will go in our numerator. And our denominator will be 1 yard. Because remember, if we write a rate, the value in our denominator must always be 1 when we're using our reference material page equations. Okay? So now, we're going to write the proportion and put our feet together. 96 feet. And then we have 1 yard. All right. So now here we need to determine the relationship between 3 and 96. Oh, wait. That's not one. I'm sorry. So we're looking for the amount of yards that are equivalent to 96 feet. Okay. Can someone tell me the relationship between 3 and 96? Or what would you multiply times 3 to get 96?
288.
So let's look at that again. If you multiply 3 times a number, it needs to equal 96. So what number would you multiply times 3 to get 96? You're not multiplying 3 and 96. You're finding the value or the relationship that you will multiply times 3 to get 96.
32.
32. Very good. All right. So, of course, we use that same relationship here. So now, for the amount of 96 feet, the equivalent yards would be 32 yards. All right. And let's look at another one. Let's go here. All right. So we're going to have 3 more. Yeah, 3 more. All right, here we go. So we have 16,000 pounds, and we're looking to convert those into tons. Okay, if we use the customary system, we have 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. So if I write that as a rate, my 2,000 will be in my numerator, and my 1 ton would be in my denominator. So now we have to write the proportion. So we have 16,000 pounds, and we're looking for the equivalent amount of tons that equals 16,000 pounds. Of course, we're going to look for a relationship. Can someone tell me what the relationship is between 2,000 and 16,000? What would you multiply times 2,000 to get 16,000? Anyone?
Eight.
Times 8. Very good. Thank you so much. All right, so now we're going to use that same relationship to find the amount of tons that is equivalent to 16,000 pounds. So we multiply times 8, and that's going to give us 8 tons. All right. Very good, very good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the metric system very quickly. I'm not going to hold you too much longer. Thank you guys for participating and joining us. Here we go. So the last 2 problems, we have 7 grams. And we need to change those 7 grams into milligrams. If I look at my reference materials page, so we have 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams. So I'm going to set this up with a denominator of 1 gram. So that's 1,000 milligrams over 1 gram. And then we're going to write the proportion. So we have 7 grams, and we're looking for the equivalent amount of milligrams for 7 grams. Okay? Can someone tell me what the relationship is between 1 gram and 7 grams?
Times 7.
Times 7. Very good. So whatever we use here, we use that same relationship. And of course, the amount of grams that is equivalent to 7 grams will be how many milligrams?
7,000.
7,000. All right, very good, very good. The last problem we're going to work today is the following. So we have 40 millimeters. Oh, I don't know why I wrote that. And then we're changing those millimeters into centimeters. All right, so now here on our reference materials page, we have millimeters. 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. So we're going to write this as a unit rate. All right, so we have 10 millimeters. That's going to be over 1 centimeter. Then we write our proportion. So we have 40 millimeters. And then we're looking for the equivalent amount of centimeters that are equal to 40 millimeters. Without doing the relationship, can someone tell me what the amount of centimeters that will be equivalent to 40 millimeters?
4.
4. Now, let's put the relationship to it. What was the relationship here?
Times 4.
Times 4. Very good. So, of course, here you use the same relationship. Times 4. So that means 40 millimeters is equivalent to 4 centimeters. All right.